Hey guys, hope you are well. So in this video, I will be talking about how to regulate your nervous system to manifest faster. I will be covering a lot of things in this video, and this will be a highly informative video. I would suggest that you pause topics after you have heard them and make your notes, because this video will actually give you a lot of information. I will be talking about what is your nervous system, what types of nervous system activations that we go through, how to actually deal with them, how does it affect our manifestations, and I will also give you a few examples just to check if you are in a state where your nervous system is the reason why you are unable to get what you want. I will also be sharing 3 ways through which you can help yourself get out of the sympathetic nervous system zone, which is something I will explain as we go ahead. So let's get into this. Let's understand this topic in a slight more detail. I will try to use not many jargons or not many words which are too complicated. I will try to talk about it in very simple terms, right? So let's understand this from a point of view of just understanding and applying from there. So, what is your nervous system? In a simple way, your nervous system is a system through which your brain sends signals to your body, and then your body sends signals back to your brain so that your mind now knows what to do, right? It's in a simple way a stimulus through which we take in information and we carry information throughout our body through the nervous system that we have inside of ourselves. Now, your nervous system has a few types. The first is what we call a parasympathetic nervous system type. The second is what we call a sympathetic nervous system. And the third is what we call an enteric nervous system. For the discussion that we want to have, the first two are what we will discuss, because the last one is not something that will concern us in this particular area of our life. If you want to learn more about it, you can just Google nervous system and the 3 types of nervous systems, and you will get a lot of knowledge about this. Or you can put it on YouTube, just write down the 3 types of nervous system if you want to understand more about this. So how does this work, and what are the ways through which this nervous system activation works? So your parasympathetic nervous system zone is your calm nervous system zone. It is a zone where your body is not anticipating threats in the most simple way. How I tell people to remember this is that the parasympathetic is the calm nervous system. So one is calm, one is angry. The angry one is the sympathetic nervous system zone. Now the sympathetic nervous system zone is basically an activation where you will be in a constant state of fight or flight because you are somewhere thinking and anticipating a threat. So let's understand both functions of this situation and understand how this activation actually works. So your parasympathetic nervous system is there and is activated, and we remain in that for most of our lives, especially when we are living our normal day-to-day life. In here, we are not anticipating a threat and we are not actually running for our survival. So we are able to do normal functions well. We are able to have normal functions of our gut, our hair, our body, our sleep. If all this is sorted and it is going in the direction that it usually goes in, that's a very good sign that you're in a parasympathetic nervous system mode. When we are in this mode, our body is actually coming from abundance. It is not anticipating a threat. It is not anticipating that something bad is going to happen. It is just living in abundance because it is feeling that everything is okay and everything is fine. Now, how does it turn to the parasympathetic nervous system zone? You get into the parasympathetic zone once your body gets activated and is anticipating a threat. Now, the reasons why we start anticipating a threat can be multiple. It can be because, one, maybe I'm coming from a place where I have past traumas or past wounding that it comes to this topic, and it makes me feel that there is a threat coming when I'm in a similar circumstance. The second reason is that I'm actually in a threat, so like there is actually a threat around me. Third is I'm anticipating a threat based on comparing it to past patterns. Fourth is I'm coming into this sympathetic nervous system zone because of something someone said and a story that they painted, which has made me create conditions about that topic in my mind, which is making me assume and believe that something bad is going to happen, right? When your body switches from parasympathetic nervous system zone to a sympathetic nervous system zone, it basically gets into this zone of survival, where at that moment, thriving is not your goal, surviving is your goal. And to combat that, our body takes in some steps. So sometimes we get into the fight mode, so we try to fight the threat, or we try to run away from it, which is called the flight mode. Then there are two advanced ways through which we sometimes deal with it, which is the freeze mode or the fawn mode. Again, these are not important for our discussion here, but an understanding of how your body works is important for our discussion here. Now, once my body gets into this sympathetic nervous system mode, it will think that there is something that is going to happen that is going to be a threat to my survival, right? And a big issue with this is that your body cannot distinguish between an emotional pain and a physical pain, because of which any pain or any threat is assumed as deadly, because of which we get into this zone where we assume that something bad is going to happen. Now, there are two ways through which people stay in survival mode. One is an acute survival mode. So, let's say a dog is running after you and you start running away because you're afraid of a dog. First, I would tell you to actually turn back because the dog is not going to bite you. You can pet him or her. But on a serious note, when you're running away, your body is in an acute sympathetic nervous system mode, which means it is in that moment instantly feeling a lot of threat around it, because of which it's running away, right? Then, which is the most triggering part, is the chronic nervous system mode. Now, an acute nervous system, like a chronic sympathetic nervous system mode. Now, the acute sympathetic nervous system or the acute angry nervous system is something we can understand, because and we can deal with better, because that's an acute threat. We can see the threat. Most of the times we can anticipate it and it is coming towards us. So at least we know that a threat is going to come, so we can prepare accordingly. The issue with a chronic sympathetic nervous system is that we are in a constant zone where we are anticipating a threat, but it's not that acute, which means it's not that intense. So in the back of our minds, we are in that chronic state of anticipating a threat, and because of which we aren't able to function properly. I will give it to you with the help of an example. So think about it this way. Let's say you wake up and you have this alarm. I have this alarm clock that keeps on ringing, keeps on increasing the volume till you physically click the button on the top. So I have that alarm clock. Let's say you woke up and this alarm clock is ringing and it keeps on ringing, keeps on ringing, keeps on ringing, and then you shut it off. But it actually doesn't shut off for you, it just shuts off for the world. So earlier the whole world could hear that alarm clock, now only you can. And it's constantly ringing in your mind. So when you go and brush your teeth, the alarm is ringing. When you go to the gym, the alarm is ringing. When you come back and let's say you go to work, the alarm is ringing. When someone is talking to you, the alarm is ringing. When you're talking to your girlfriend or your partner, the alarm is ringing. When you're out with your friends, the alarm is ringing. The issue with this is that everyone around you doesn't hear that alarm. So for them, everything is normal. But for you, it's a constant distraction. It's a constant irritation because you're constantly listening to this, which is making you triggered, and you don't know how to shut it off. This is how, when you are in the sympathetic nervous system mode, it can feel like. And on a chronic level, something is on our mind on a constant place, and we are constantly anticipating a threat. Because of which, and our body at that moment is just about surviving, not thriving, we will be in a zone where we would be constantly anticipating something bad. So our sleep will struggle, our health will struggle, our gut issues will grow. We will have, you can develop acne, all these things can happen. So it's very important to calm your nervous system down for you to thrive and for you to be in a position where you can manifest better. Now let's understand the three things that I personally do through which I'm able to calm down my nervous system when I feel it getting activated. The first thing which is important to understand is that patience is very important. You are not going to instantly get better at this. Neither are you instantly going to calm down issues that you have developed for years. It is going to take time. So whenever you do a technique or a method or even try these things, don't expect it to work instantly. Of course, they will make you feel better, but you want a chronic solution, which means a long-term solution. For you to have a long-term solution, these applications of these practices have to be constant. So the first practice that instantly helps me is breath work. I have talked about this before, and I think any one of my clients, anyone, no client has ever been in my coaching who hasn't received a breathwork practice from me. Now, which breathwork that I give to them depends from person to person. You have to understand that every breathwork has a different principle. So, for example, Wim Hof breathwork is dependent on you hyperventilating, which means it is for someone who is actually gathering less and who has to work with less oxygen, right? That's what they are training you to do. There are different kinds of breath work for different situations. Research what kind of breath work works for you. There are many different methods and try them all. There is no one size fits all, and you will also, in different situations of your life, use different kinds of breath work. How it is helpful is because once you start inculcating breath work as a daily part of your life, you will be able to calm down your nervous system, because your breath is the first thing that changes once your nervous system gets activated. Getting control and mastering your breath is going to be something that will allow you to be calm and content and secure in the moments of stress, which will tell your body and signal your body that nothing wrong is happening because your breath is controlled. The second way through which I'm able to help myself is a low intensity activity. I am a very big fan of walking. I think that this is one of the biggest things that people avoid, but walking is something that will always help. Albert Einstein used to be a fan of walking. He used to say that a lot of my great ideas come when I'm walking. Walking helps because of two reasons. First, it's because when you're already in a sympathetic nervous system mode, just like you are when you're working out, you will be able to use that and utilize that energy well. Once you are doing so and you're walking or you're doing some low intensity activity, I know it seems easy, I know, but it's very, very helpful. When you are doing this low intensity activity, your body is thinking that, you know what, this was the threat that I was anticipating, because I'm able to exert myself, because we don't usually walk around in a fast pace, right? It also helps you get tired, and when you're tired, you're in a situation where your body is automatically going to start to shift to a parasympathetic nervous system mode. It is going to get calmer. Walking also helps, especially because you're able to gather and collect your thoughts, and you are going to be in a position where you're not just sitting there analyzing things. Try it sometimes. Try thinking while you're walking and try thinking while you're sitting. While you're sitting, your thoughts will be more scattered, but while you're walking, your thoughts will be more in line. A big reason being because while you're walking, you are controlling your breath, you are moving your body, you are telling your body that there was a threat that I'm dealing with, but you're also telling it that the threat was not as big enough as if I have to extend that much energy. It will also be good for your cardiovascular health. So what is the harm? When I can feel chronic stress, I set a timer and I walk for 20 minutes. I don't do anything at that time. Sometimes I just play a little bit of music, but I just walk just for the sake of walking, because it is an activity that is making me feel good. That will immensely help. The third thing which will help in regulating your nervous system is routines and avoiding triggers. Let me explain. When we are in a sympathetic nervous system mode on a regular basis, I have said the word sympathetic nervous system so many times in this video, I apologize for that. But when we are in an angry nervous system mode on a regular basis, our body is going to be very, very, very vigilant, and it is going to constantly think for any changes around us in our surroundings. When we have a constant routine to fall back upon, it gives your body the sense of familiarity that it is constantly seeking. It gives your body and your mind an ability to pause and to think that, you know what, it is familiar things that I'm going through. When I was thriving, I was going through this routine. So now when I'm surviving, if I'm going through this routine, that must mean that everything is fine. It also gives you this ability to have some sort of control. And when you are in that comfort zone where you are constantly doing the things that you know are a part of your daily routine, you are able to gather structure, and a structure helps. You don't have to create elaborative routines. Anything helps. Even 30 minutes of your day scattered throughout the day will help. One can be a breath work, one can be a meditation, and one can be a set of affirmations, just like that. But also, you can include things in your routine which are helping you physically, mentally, emotionally. Going to the gym, reading, studying, working out, all these things, they will help. Avoiding triggers is another thing that helps immensely, because once you are avoiding triggers at that time, you are in a zone where you are not overloading and frying your nervous system. It's just like when your electricity cannot handle more load and you turn on another AC, it will only get harder, right? So stopping that and just staying in that zone where you are avoiding triggers for a while can be something very helpful. I hope this video helps you. I have been looking forward to making this video for a while, but I finally came around to it because I feel that it will help a lot of people. That's the only purpose of making this video. I hope that you apply it in your life, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share if you like the video. The link for my one-on-one coaching, my self-help courses, and my free newsletter are in the description box below.